and welcome. I'm Theolyn Cortens, and this is my series called Soul Purpose Astrology. I'm recording this late in August 2024 because I'm promoting a new class, online classes for 8 weeks in the autumn of 2024. However, if you miss that date, it is quite likely that I will run the class again in 2025. So make sure that you're on my members list and signed up for newsletters so you get up-to-date information. In the meantime, this series of 8 videos is a kind of preamble and a taster, if you like, of the kind of things that we will be talking about in the online classes, and I think they will be useful and inspiring and enlightening for you, even if you don't come along to the class. So the first topic in the series is your soul's journey. Now, I don't know how much astrology you already know, but most astrologers have perhaps most modern astrologers, I should say, have quite a psychological approach to astrology. And when we use the word psychology, we are referencing the old Greek word psyche, which means a soul. But in modern parlance, psychological usually means something more secular, if you like. And not all astrologers will actually be considering the soul as in the ancient Greek idea of the soul. And I'll give you an example from something that happened to me quite recently, where I was talking to a client, and this lady had met somebody through a dating agency, and she had consulted an online psychological astrology website and managed to access 2 very competent charts and chart discussions about this person she was dating and herself and how they might interact and whether it would be good for them. Now, the reports that she got were quite encouraging. It did mention that there could be a lot of tensions in this relationship. I won't go into details because obviously that's confidential. But the psychological report was based on the 2 people having equal spiritual evolution. And it came from, as I say, a secular approach that you could talk about psychology of people without necessarily thinking about what state or what development had happened previously for the soul. So when this relationship started to develop, and it was very positive and lots of good things happening, but then started to be quite a big challenge for the lady. She asked me, well, why did I see all these positive things in the astrological reports and now this doesn't feel great? So my answer to that, because I looked at the reports and I'd agreed with the things that were being said, my answer to that was that these 2 people are coming from a different spiritual perspective, and a spiritual perspective cannot necessarily be identified in the chart. I think there are some pointers in the chart about the spiritual evolution, but they're not accessed in the way that most astrologers look at charts nowadays. I think the soul comes in to life at a particular time, chooses its timing, chooses its place, chooses its parents and all the environment that it's going to meet within certain parameters, because obviously a soul coming in 2024 hasn't got the same choices as a soul coming in to 1824. So it's within the boundaries of the time frame anyway. But apart from that, the soul has got choices before it arrives. So then when we look at the chart, we are looking at what this soul has chosen as its basic formulas, as its basic potentials. The chart doesn't tell us how competent that soul already is in order for it to make the best use of those potentials. So you can look at the chart, and as we go through this series, I'll be explaining different bits of the chart that you can look at in order to see what the soul's got, shall we say, in its toolbox. Sometimes I think of it, a chart, as being like a how to do it manual, how to do my life manual. But you can give somebody a toolbox and you can give somebody a how to do it manual. They may not bother to even read the manual. They may not bother to open the toolbox. So it depends on the curiosity and the previously accumulated intentions that the soul has already experienced and has come in with, whether those potentials can be realised or will be realised. And it's only when a soul is suddenly faced with something that it starts to perhaps ask the right questions. That's why we notice when people have near-death experiences, and they may previously have not been interested in spiritual matters at all, they can come back into their everyday life and start behaving in a completely new way, start seeing the world through a new pair of lenses, and can start actually addressing spiritual matters instead of just material matters. So I come to this idea of the soul's journey with a philosophical view which we could call Platonic, after the Greek philosopher Plato. And it's because Plato left us this amazing description, which he says he got from a man called who had a near-death experience. Everyone thought he was dead, and then wakes up on the funeral pyre just in time to tell everybody, no, I'm not dead. And according to the account which Plato reports, has been on a spiritual journey while people thought he was dead. And during that journey, he has seen and experienced what happens to the soul after it leaves the body and before it comes back in to a new body, chooses to reincarnate. So it's quite a detailed account of the meeting with various spiritual guides and also with what the Greeks called the daimon. The daimon is the Greek word for what we might call a guardian angel, a spiritual guide specifically for you in this life, who will kind of sit on your shoulder a bit and say, no, don't do that. Oh, yes, do that. But are you listening? Further down this series, I will do one specially on the daimon. But for now, what we're talking about is the soul having come out of the invisible realm manifesting a life in a new body, a new human body, and in order to do that, it has to go back into the womb and be a baby where there is no language and therefore no memory. That is a stage which I think is covered by Plato's idea of the river of forgetfulness. So we go through this period of time when everything seems to disappear because we have hardly any consciousness of the outside world because we're in the womb growing. And then we're born and we still have no language. So in order to remember anything that happened previously on our soul's journey in other lives, we have to develop language, and then we have to start trying to understand everything all over again. And it's only through meditation and introverted inner searching that we start to get hints of, oh, this is what my soul wants. Not what my teachers want or my parents want, not even what my inner child wants, what my soul wants, why my soul is here, why is my soul on this journey, why has it chosen this particular lifetime, and what can I do with this gift, the divine gift of life. So the soul that is you is living a human life with all its ups and downs, with all its challenges, with its joys and its sorrows, and learning how to be in that and expand one's consciousness in order to be more fully human at the same time as being more fully divine. That is what your present soul's life on this planet is all about. So I invite you to go to the website and make sure that you are a member, and you can email me as well if you're interested in Soul Purpose Astrology courses now or in the future. Many blessings until the next episode. Bye for now.